He was at his best friend's wedding.
For Betty Lou Christie, the tragedy began when her son Pete was prescribed opioids for stomach pain.
As a mother, you think, well, it's a prescription from a doctor, so it has to be okay.
He died of an accidental overdose at age 25, an early victim of the epidemic that started 20 years ago when doctors began writing prescriptions for opioid pain pills, believing they were safe and non-addictive, in part because of heavy marketing by drug companies. But time has told a different story.
It has the same chemical properties in it as heroin. People take these medications for pain and become quickly hooked or addicted to them.
For most, it starts with a doctor prescribing opioids for back pain or other persistent pain. And many people stay on the pills for years, even though there is little scientific evidence that the drugs actually work.
In general, we do not have compelling evidence for the benefits of opioids that outweighs what we know now about their risks.
It's estimated that 40 people die every day from an opioid overdose in the U.S., and in Ontario, more people die from opioids than car accidents.
That's really just not acceptable when we think about the lack of evidence that these are actually even helping people who have pain and are using them for long term.
So today, the U.S. Centers for Disease Control made headlines, telling doctors to avoid opioids for chronic pain. Save those drugs for surgery, cancer, and end-of-life pain. For other forms of pain, try something else first.
It's really the first time that an organization in North America has released guidelines with such strong recommendations around the cautious use of opioids for chronic non-cancer pain.
He just fell asleep and never woke up.
Betty Lou Christie commends the CDC for the report.
Of course, it's too late for Pete and for thousands of kids that we've lost, but I think now the attention's finally on it. We needed to stay on it.
The CDC recommendations are not binding. They're intended to guide doctors as they make difficult pain management decisions. Meanwhile, in Canada, which ranks second in the world in opioid consumption, the current recommendations still support the use of opioids for chronic pain. Kelly Crow, CBC News, Toronto.